Hello, Cosmic Souls. This is Theron from Cosmic Journey. Today, I wanted to dive into the astrological forecast going into um, Monday, July the 8th. And I wanted to just take you on just a little bit of a journey through the sky with me as we navigate our personal and our business lives. Okay. So I want to start. Usually, I will start with like the sun or the moon, but this time I want to start with Venus in Cancer. Starting of the week, Venus will be in Cancer, and by the end of the week, it will be traveled into Leo. And what I'm feeling with this Venus in Cancer right now, it is definitely encouraging us to rise above all of the memories and the stories that hold us back. Focus on improving and rebalancing, or I should say, prioritizing your self esteem, your finances, your spiritual health, any of your resources that stabilize you, that make you feel like you're cared for. These are the things that you want to go ahead and kind of reharmonize, recalibrate, because in this energy, there is a blessing that is on the other side. And it leads me to believe that you have been manifesting, or we all have in a sense, have been manifesting something. Whether you've been doing rituals, you've been writing in your journal, you've been doing all these things to make that this blessing or this gift, this manifestation come to you. And right now, the old memories and the old stories that you're holding on to is part of the block, right? It's still there. It still has your name on it, per se, but the delay is weaving yourself through some of this, like old memories and stories, like I was speaking on, and allowing yourself to prioritize your self esteem, your finances, and your spiritual. I wanted to put the Venus energy out there right now so you can have an idea of what it is that we're being asked to do or look into. Because the rest of this reading is going to probably hit a little hard, because there's some things that we are being asked to participate in, mainly our own lives. This energy is a very action driven energy for this week's coming up. This is not a bury your head in the sand or allowing someone else to take over so you don't have to get your hands dirty. No, this is all hands on deck when it comes to your own life. The sun right now is urging you to pay attention to who you have around you. Are they supportive? Or are these people just part of your comfort zone? They're people that you used to. They mimic the dynamic of your childhood from those old memories. And now you keep them around because they're just comfortable for you. But are they actually healthy for you? And so the sun right now is asking you to look into that. This is part of your self care. Is to look into who you have around you, and again, like, are they healthy for you, or are you just in a comfort zone with them? And right now, the moon being in Leo, um, it's this energy here is. I feel like once you start doing that assessment of the people that are around you, there's a difficult conversation that may need to happen. Mercury is also in Leo. There may be a difficult conversation that needs to happen, um, of some sort, when it comes to you as an individual and the people that you have around you. One thing that's coming up with this energy as well is however you handle this, there are people watching, and therefore you are in a position where you are influencing someone, your behavior will be modeled. The best way, like if this was about children and there's a situation that you have to confront, you will want to handle it in a way where you would want, if a child was watching you, you would want them to pick up the the most appropriate or the better way to handle it versus what the impulse that's coming or the impulsive thoughts that are coming in to handle it. And so it's causing you to sit still in it for a minute so you can see the better course of action because again someone is watching, and it's someone that is, it can be a subordinate from your, like if you own a business and your employees are watching how you handle a disgruntled or a, you know, a disgruntled customer, the what you want to do and what you should be doing is one thing. Yeah, what you want to do is one thing, and what you should be doing is something else. And it's like choose what you should be doing because there someone is watching and they're going to model, and you don't want that type of response to be the ongoing response if you're not around. In Gemini, there's two schools of thought here. Mercury that I just talked about, that's in Leo. Mercury actually rules Gemini. So we're still talking about communication. Or we can be, that's the other school of thought is we could be talking about taking a class or learning something new. But in the terms of communication or speaking or talking about, be mind. That's one of the other things to be mindful. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you can say things, and when someone is watching and you say the wrong thing, that's the very thing that has legs and it grows and everybody hurt. You know, so and so said, you know, this is one of the things that you want to just kind of be mindful of. Now, the other school of thought about learning something, you could be learning, uh, taking a new course, learning something new that that's helping you grow. It could be something spiritual, or it could just be something that you always wanted to learn. And right now, I'm thinking, what I'm thinking here is this motivation to learn something was came from some sort of self doubt. You intellectualized that you wasn't enough or you wasn't capable or everybody was smarter than you. Something in there you have intellectualized, and it's really you comparing yourself. And because Jupiter is a planet of expansion, that's why I said watch what you say because it's going to grow legs. Watch what you're saying to yourself as well. Because it's one thing if you take in the course and when you get finished with the course, you feel that confidence and you go and uh, you use whatever it is, like if it's a training for a job, now you take that and now you're calling in more clients, you're calling in more business, and it's growing that way. If it's internalized and you have nothing but negative talk or self doubt on yourself, that can also grow as well, and it begins to fester, and it seems like you can also like jeopardize your health that way, mental health and physical health. So be mindful of that trap, uh, getting stuck in that self doubt. Remember, you are enough. You do know enough. You do know more than what you probably give yourself credit for. Um, and just hold on to that truth as you maneuver through whatever this lesson is that you have signed. So let me just say everything that I'm saying is not going to affect everybody in the same way. It all depends on where these planets fall in your chart and what type of aspects that are these that's influencing the relationships of these planets. If you want to know, you can definitely book me for a here and now reading, and we can look at your chart and to see where these influences will have. We have Mars and Uranus they're traveling closer and closer. Well, Mars is getting closer and closer to Uranus in Taurus. So, one of the things like getting yourself grounded, and like I said earlier, prioritizing your self worth, your spiritual health, your health in general, your finances. Start prioritizing that, because that way, if or when this disruption occurs, you'll be more stable in it. Um, but it looks as like this intense energy could actually be something that attempts to threaten your stability, your home life, your, I keep saying finances here, but your self confidence. These things, who you are, yeah, definitely that self confidence. And you kind of being humbled is what I'm picking up. Like you kind of being humbled. But if you already are putting the work in to the things that I was saying to prioritize, you already can see, you'll slow down enough to really like see what the writing is on the wall, and you're already making adjustments. So when the intense energy hits, you're able to weather it um, much better. Because one thing about this astrological energy, when it's intense like this, it's best to be ahead of it than to be behind it. All right, Pluto is currently in retrograde in Aquarius, and it's going to head back into Capricorn. Now, Pluto is a real collective. It's one of the outer planets. It's a collective energy. Um, and if I'm not mistaken, this will be the second or the third time Pluto has retrograde in this latter part of Capricorn. I know it's like the second time in Aquarius, but I want to say somewhere before it went into Aquarius the first time, it did a retrograde as well in the latter part of Capricorn. So, Pluto, the planet of transformation, the lord of the underground, is keeps cycling in that Capricorn Aquarius area. Eventually, it's going to stay in Aquarius and it's going to move forward. But there are some things collectively we are holding on to that Pluto has given us, if I'm right, three chances, three chances to let go of. And I feel like I just said it's better to be in front of than behind. Because I feel like when that Grim Reaper allows it, starts heading back towards Aquarius, and we haven't gotten our self together, closed out what we need to close out in Capricorn, then it's going to, that Reaper is going to light some things on fire, right? Whether we are ready for it or not. And Aquarius, if I haven't mentioned, I don't think I did, is ruled by Uranus, the the disruptor anyway. So there's gonna be like all for it. And it's gonna make things very intense, very unsettling, very complicated for a while until we can get our new footing. But again, if we can get ahead of it and start that process now while it's in retrograde, while it's backing up over those things that, reminding us what needs to go, if we can get ourselves together and do that, we can be a little bit more stabilized as it goes forward and starts its journey into Aquarius. So, the last of the outer planets that I will talk about is Neptune and Saturn. Both of these planets are in Pisces. Saturn is retrograde, and then Neptune is at the 29th degree in Pisces. Both of these planets are doing something powerful. Um, in the zodiac of Pisces. Saturn is helping us actualize our dreams. Um, yeah, to come out of that fantasy world long enough to put a plan in motion. It because it grounds, it makes Pisces kind of ground itself. Um, Saturn has the reputation of being authoritarian. However, the more I learn about Saturn, I understand that Saturn wants us to be successful. It thrives off of business because it likes status. It likes to have that reputation that it's the boss. So the what is it? The I always say Saturn likes to grab you by the coattail. That pulling you back when you think you've taken a step forward and it's pulling you back. It's doing that so when you get to your destination, you can maintain, you can you can stay at that level. You're not going to embarrass you're not going to embarrass Saturn because you have half-assed it and then you slip up and then now you all the way back down to zero. And so while it's in this Pisces energy, it's going to ground some of um, our dreams and our aspirations. And with it in retrograde, don't be surprised if a old dream or a old aspiration comes up. And Saturn just want to look through that and see if there's any substance to it. And then there's Neptune. It's speaking to our spiritual side. It is calling us to upgrade our spirituality. It wants us to feel into our being, who we are, having compassion for one another, the community with each other, valuing each other. It's calling us to do that, and connecting into that, you begin to effortlessly in some ways call in the right people, the right resources for yourself. So yeah, at the 29th degree, there is a cycle ending. There is something coming to a close. And so Neptune is here to foster that. So later in the week, the only thing that really changes much is Venus will enter into Leo, and then by the end of the week, the moon would have gone into Libra. So a lot of Venus energy going on. Focus on your self worth and your finances. I can't reiterate that. Ensure that your um, resources you need and to strive for are in some sort of alignment, like a balance, like I said before. Um, and remember also that you may not see the entire picture. You may feel all the feels, but you may not see the entire picture. You don't know where things are going. What direction are we going in? Like, where is my path? You're not supposed to. This is also a time, if we go back to Neptune as well, it's a time to begin to trust in your intuition. And I know society really doesn't offer any support in this, but now more than ever, tapping into your intuition will help you navigate what foot needs to go, in front of the other on this path that we're on. The ground, um, like I said, may not feel even, like you just almost on cobblestones, just nothing is like flat and nothing is feels secure when you're walking, but you're still standing, you're still walking, and just feel into it. Everything that you see is only a limited view. Your intuition can actually guide you a lot further. Thank you. Thank you if you're still here. Thank you very much for tuning in to my astrological insights. I will say, if you notice, I didn't go into a whole lot of aspects and how they are relating to one another because, again, I think that's a better fit if I am talking to you individually about your chart. So, if you do want to book a here and now to see how this energy is going to affect you, there is a link in my bio. All right. So, until we meet again, I plan on doing these once a week, preferably dropping every Monday. So I will be here. I hope you will be too. All right. Until next time.